Today's lesson is going to be on genealogy placement training. This is how to place the first 3 IRs into the system properly. I would rank this video as probably one of the top 2 most important videos that a new person should watch from day one. So we see here to log into your website, we see the address at the top of the screen. Now if you don't know your 5-digit code, it's okay, because from any Liberty site you can log in. You just simply hit the Business Suite link. Obviously this opens up the login page. When we look down here where it says user ID, we type in our 5-digit code. If we don't know our 5-digit code, we put in our social security or tax ID number by clicking on the link below, tracking ID. Then of course we put in our password. Now you might want to share that password initially with your sponsor, your upline trainer, so they can take you through an additional lessons beside the one we're going to go through, and then you can go back and change that password as often as you like. And of course step 3, we hit the little red arrow here or hit the enter key on our keypad. This will take us into our back office or virtual office. Remember, today's training is going to be changing the genealogy placement from 4L to 7R. It's a simple 5-step process. So step 1, we look on the left here under site navigation. There are many different links to go to. We're specifically looking for my websites. That's going to give us a drop down menu. The very first link is entitled My Personal Gateway. Go ahead and click that. Once we've done that, this opens up our personal gateway settings. Now here we can change the name under our About Me section, contact information, create a bio, and put in a picture to personalize our website, which I highly recommend everybody do. However, remember, we want to get back and make sure we stay focused, and today we're going to learn how to change the genealogy placement. So here we go. Click on Genealogy Placement. This is going to open up the next page, which shows us a simulation of the 7 business centers and then how we can create each of the 8 different teams of the octonary. Now the first position is 4L. This is where each and every new person should be placing their first person, regardless of how quickly their business is growing or what situation they find themselves in. Always put the first one on the left. Then before the second person can sign up, that's when you have to go in and perform this function, because the first one is always going to go into the right place as long as you don't mess with anything. We run the risk, if we don't teach people this lesson right from the beginning, then everybody that the person signing up personally is going to be stacked down 4L. Now remember, it takes 2 teams to override before we can get the commissions captured into one of the business centers and for that to pay out. So remember, it takes 2 teams to override the production, the group's volume. So what we want to do here on step 4 is find 7R, take your mouse and just simply go over there and click it. And once you do that, then the second application that's going to go into the system would be placed under 7R. Now the third person that's going to come to the front of your website and sign up is just going to follow the second person. You don't have to physically do anything. And then of course everybody else signing up will fall underneath that original second person until you go back in and change it again. And step 5, very important. You have to hit Save Changes before this takes effect. Now you want to keep working just these 2 teams, so just toggle back and forth from 4L to 7R, and wherever you find the weaker side and you've got new people to place, put them in there until you start cycling every day. Now cycle is a very simple process. Every 6,000 points, so we take the initial example here. On the left, this person has a little sign that says 6,000. Well, if we think about the first 2 people going in, let's say they signed up at the accelerated Fast Start Activation Pack, that's 3,500 points. Now forget about the $100 bonus we make on each of them. Both of those people going in is a total of 7,000 points, and at least a third is on one side. So 7,000 points obviously trumps 6,000, so there's a $50 override check from those 2 people going into the system. Now you obviously did that personally in this scenario. Now if we look over here to the right, we have a guy with a sign that says 48,000 points. Now regardless if you get your third person or not, you're already now qualified to override all the production. So let's just say you only personally recruited the first 2 people, and then those 2 people all went out and got 2 or 3 people apiece, and they start powering down. Well, when they collectively do 48,000 points, then that's going to be what we call a complete cycle, which pays a minimum of a total of $500. So in this scenario, you only put 2 people in the system, you got your 2 $100 bonuses, and you got a $500 override check from the complete cycle. Now that can happen once per day for 1 business center. Now remember, you're eventually going to have 7 business centers, so you can do this 7 times a day, but we're just concentrating now on building the nucleus of our business. So as we see here, this person put a couple people in, They got 48,000 points. That's a complete cycle. Well, you don't want to quit working until you've powered down both of these organizations and then you start cycling every day. That means you've mastered how to make your first six-figure income with us. And then if you want to go back in and build a third team, it's going to be simple because most of the work has now been done with the first two teams. The third team you're going to develop is only going to need to do a third of the production, and it's going to be able to double your income. That's as far as we want to take this lesson. Once again, this is very important for a new person. Obviously, from the second application on, would have need to know how to change the genealogy placement so they can override their team's production. So I strongly encourage you to make sure that when you sign up a new person, this is one of the first videos outside the quick start guide that they watch so they start their business off on the right foot. Once again, we appreciate you paying attention here and following the lessons. Just make sure you duplicate this throughout your entire organization. This is JR wishing you all the success. Thanks for watching and God bless.